So Jane, what do you teach?
Hi, Ms. Brown. I'm Jane Viat, and I work at Washington Elementary School, and I teach kindergarten this year, taught kindergarten last year. Prior to that, I was an interventionist in this school for 3 years. I was working with social, emotional, and cognitive needs, including health needs of 600 children here. And even before that, I was a preschool Head Start teacher, so I've been in the district 31 years.
31 years, great. Okay, so can you talk a little bit about the need for the social and emotional component during your day?
Sure, I definitely can. The more academic our program becomes, the more need there is for a social, emotional component. And as a preschool teacher and as a kindergarten teacher, we set the basis and the foundation for those children's early learning. And it's very important that we help the child become successful in those areas. If we don't build that foundation and we don't start with that basement, certainly that child's not going to have a good foundation and there won't be any learning. There'll be minimal learning is what I should say. Academically, the child will not feel secure, the child will not feel safe, the child will not be emotionally ready to take on those tasks that are necessary to build that cognitive first floor, second floor, third floor, and throughout their life. So it's very important that during the early learning years, from 3 years old up until they're 21 and they leave school for the most part, but certainly in those early childhood years, it's very important to build that social and emotional domain.
Okay, and can you just tell me a little bit about the pre-lesson 2 in the Generation Text program, the high lows? Tell me what that has done. Like, how has that affected your kids and the classroom as a whole?
I'd love to. Very energetic. The kids are real energetic about that whole high-low day that we have, and I'll tell you what happened. Started with the program Generation Text Online, and I looked at all of the lessons, and I decided that we were going to start with something that was very social, that was very emotional to the kids, and that had some sense and meaning for them. So we started with the highs and lows, because the high and low allowed the child to tell about what was the best of their weekend and what was the worst of their weekend. And we did have children who have had losses, human losses, animal and pet losses, and I wanted them to be able to talk about that if they felt like it without actually walking up to them and saying, how do you feel about so-and-so, about the death of. So what I did was I decided to use the high-lows, and the children were very excited about doing it. They told me their highs of the week. Many of them passed because they said their life was wonderful and they didn't have any lows. The following week we did it again, and less children passed on the lows. They started to really dig deep inside themselves, and they said, you know, it wasn't so good. Actually, what happened to me was, one little girl said, I went to the farm one day and we had to leave, and that was my low. So it didn't have to be something traumatic or very dramatic. It was something that really affected her, and she was becoming reflective, and she was understanding what was inside her, what that intensity on the inside of her really amounted to. The other day we came in, now this is after about 7 or 8 weeks of doing the high-low. We're now into November in school, and one little girl said to me, can we do high-lows today? And I looked at her and I said, well, it's Wednesday, and we usually do high-lows on Mondays, but why not? We can do a high-low. And she told me that her mom is not sick anymore. Her mom is well. And she wanted to tell me that was her high. And when she shared that with the whole class, they asked her if she had any lows, and she said no. And that sparked the rest of the class wanting to do the high-low on Monday and Wednesday, and maybe we'll even do it on Friday from now on. It's been wonderful.
Okay, thank you so much.